What is going on, everyone? I'm back with my second YouTube video. This time I'm going to be breaking down my Connor McDavid hockey design. This is my first ever actually hockey design, and I think it turned out pretty good for my first time doing hockey design. With sports design, it's pretty easy to apply different things to all types of designs, so I'm trying to expand more into different types of design. I think this one was from about 2 weeks ago, but I'm gonna break it down for you anyways because I thought you guys would want to see how I made this one. Like always, leave in the comments what you want to see next or what design you want or any recommendations at all, and I'll make sure to do that. So I'm just gonna get right into it. So see all my layers organized again. Like always, and I'm just gonna turn it all off. Actually. Okay, so I'll start. Oh, actually, so usually I'm gonna explain this. It says unused, so usually I keep like my ideas. I mean, this is too much. You shouldn't really do this. I should have deleted this stuff. Like I usually do, but this is just like all the unused layers that I never used with experimenting and stuff. So I'm just gonna turn that layer off. So we're gonna start with this back stuff. So this is all the back stuff, and I'll break each layer down even further, so there's even more groups in here. So let's start with the background. So the base was just an orange background. Then I went to unsplash.com. I'll link that in the description. It's royalty-free images. If you do, so you can use it in any of your designs and for free, and you won't have anyone question where you got it from. So I use this mountain, Canadian mountain, since the Oilers are from Edmonton, which is in Canada, and then over the top of it, it's just a gradient to kind of cover it up, and then another orange overlay to just show that stuff. That's that part, and then second rectangle, or the first rectangle actually. So that is just starting with a it was just starting with a stripe, and then I just, as you can see right here, here's my mask. So I masked out some of the parts. So if I disable it, first it was just a rectangle, then I applied the mask so it can fit in with all the other stuff, but then I add another picture, this time again of somewhere in the city. I like to always add an element of the city into my composition designs. So I just look on Unsplash, find the best pictures, and find a way to add them. And then again, added a blue overlay on top of it to cover it up in blue, and then actually added some like highlights into it to make it like pop out more. You'll see how it looks once I add everything else. And then added the number. So Connor McDavid is 97, so it's just big number 97. So it's just a 9. So it starts off with a 9, and then I added the 7. They weren't fully connected, and I wanted to fix some of this stuff, so I just used my polygonal lasso tool and just like made the shape. And then also I think I used my rectangle tool. You can also use the shape tool right here. There's many ways to do it. So then that connects it right there. And the second one adds it up in the 9 more, so it flows more. And then I added his name text. I'll actually show you how to do this because you can see how it's like kind of glitchy. You see that? So it starts out with this, let's see, yeah, this blue overlay, so it covers up, and then actually you just duplicate. So you type Connor. The font on this is Velocita. I don't really know how to say that, but it's called Velocita Heavy, and then set it to 257. It doesn't, that doesn't really matter. You just got to set it to what it is. So I'll actually type out some text to show you. So I have this, and then add the O in the R. Looks like it doesn't fit, so I gotta drag it over. Okay, so we have this main layer, and then so then what you do after that, double click it, and then you'll bring out with this menu. This menu will bring up, and then you take off the red and the green, so then it just makes it blue. And then you do the same for others. So duplicate this layer, and if you don't know how to duplicate it, so if you right click, hit duplicate layer, and then if I drag this over, you click OK, and then that will duplicate it. For the sake of this, I'm not going to duplicate it because I already have the layers. And then you just keep doing it. So instead of just the blue, so you have one layer that's just blue selected, one layer that's just red selected, and then one layer that's just green selected. So then once you have all of that done, I'm just gonna delete this layer. So then you have the red. That was my base layer, and then I added green. So then you click Control T, Control or Command T on your keyboard, and then you just use the arrow keys, and then just move it around so it like sticks out, and do it different for all of these. So then you can click up, you can click down, and then just add it back on top, and then it makes this like glitch effect for that. And then just I added a little bit more on top, and then the McDavid in orange. So that's how I did my glitch text effect. So that is all the back stuff. Now for the back players. So I found this image on Getty, and then I masked it out. I'll be coming out with a tutorial at some point on how to mask, the best way to mask out players. And now I'll show you like the color correction. My first video was on color correction, and it was orange like this, but just in case you want to see my camera raw settings, I will show you what those camera raw settings look like. It takes a long time for it to load. This time it actually loaded faster. Okay, so basic. So this is what I usually do. So this is what it looks like without camera raw. Like I told you in the color correction video, it just looks plain and boring. Then you add this and it adds dimensions. So here are all my settings. You just gotta mess around with everything. A texture is usually around 80, clarity is around 30 to 20, 20 to 30. Then you just mess with this stuff. Usually my contrast is at 35. And then I didn't do anything curve. Detail, I just sharpened the image, doesn't do much. And then I just messed around with the colors a little bit, and that's all I did for the camera raw filter. I'm gonna hit cancel again because I don't want to mess anything up. But there's that, and then I added a hue and saturation, which you can see it corrects the skin kind of, and on this one it makes it less yellow, it's more red, and it brings out the oranges a little bit more. And then selective color does the same thing. This time it actually turns down the red a little bit more. And then since it's a hockey design, the visors are kind of whack because you can see, but I just added, so you just brush over, you take your brush right here, and then actually this is just because I'm selected layer 11, which is my player, so I don't want to rasterize it, but you just brush the color of your background, and then you brush it over this part, and then you add a mask to it with your brush. So make sure your brush is selected on black, and then you just take out the parts where you don't want to have it and set your opacity to 70, so it kind of like gives that reflective look while still looking like it blends in the background. So that's my back player. And then I had a first triangle, so this is it's pretty simple. It's just a triangle made with my polygonal lasso tool, and then I added in the background of my front player, so it's just low opacity, or well, actually I turned the fill down, so it's 50% fill, so you can just barely see it, but it adds a little bit more of an element. Then I added another triangle with the same effects as this rectangle right here, so that's pretty simple as well. It's just this triangle, and then I think I used the same picture. I just moved it down a little bit so it's the bottom city part, and then I added that blue back over, which it's filled 95%, so just you can barely see everything, and then you add in back those like things that make it pop a little more. So that's that triangle. I mean, this is a pretty simple design. There isn't too many layers in this, but it still makes the design look good overall. And then we have this front image. So again, I'll show you my camera settings. If it will open up, there we go. There it is. So again, let's see what I did. Nothing much. Clarity is only actually up 1. So without camera, this one isn't that big of a drastic change. We got that. So clarity is only up 1. Mess around with all that stuff. Contrast is only up 23 on this one. And then we got color mixer. This one I messed around with a lot more. You just gotta kind of play around with it, see what looks good, mess around with the camera, and just see how to make your images look way better than they are. I mean, this one wasn't as big of a change as the back one. I'm gonna hit cancel again. Remember, you hit OK, like I said last time. And then hue and saturation, again, it like makes the skin more. This one, it makes it more dull actually. And then the red, or the selected color, it was on reds. And then here are my settings for this. And it just brings out the skin more. And then I used a levels layer. I explained that in my color correction video also, so you can look at that and see how I did that. So it just kind of puts the shadows and the highlights. So I wanted to make it so the light source was coming from this side, even though there wasn't a light source. It just makes it look better. And then for this, again, it's the layer duplicated, and then you add a, and then actually you desaturate. Here, I'll turn the layer on. You hit adjustments, desaturate, and then filter, other, high pass filter, and I set it anywhere from 17 to 19, and then it just kind of enhances the image. Then after that, I added his signature in. I think I'm also going to be doing a video on how to get signatures, but it's pretty simple. You just gotta, so I'll bring you to the image. So it was actually this one, so that's not the right. Actually, yeah, so this is it, and then this one I actually used the pen tool for, and I just traced around it, and then color overlaid it, so it makes it look like, so you can change the color later. There's an easier way to do it. That's just the way that I did it for this one, because I couldn't find any that good of signature pictures that were black and white, and then my CC over the whole image is just 3 color lookups. So I have 3 strip, which I use on almost every design, set to 25% fill. And then I also have crisp warm look, which I use for all my orange designs usually, set to 38%. And then my last one is fall colors look, set to 42% fill. That's my opacity, or my CC for the top CC. And then I added a camera raw filter over the whole image. I'll show you what that is, the settings on that are as well, and then it's just my logo on top of it, so not too much left to cover. Okay, so we have, this one was a pretty simple camera, just saturation up 5, texture up 15, blacks up 17, yeah, just contrast is up 35 again, and then color mixer, I just did some stuff. I think I brought these to the extremes just to level out the colors on the front McDavid, because I didn't like how the colors looked on that. So that's that for the camera raw filter on top of it. Just gonna load. And then my logo up in the corner. Thank you guys for watching my first breakdown video. Tell me what you want to see in the future again in the comments. And I hope you have a good rest of your Monday. I will be uploading almost every Monday with new content for you guys. So have a good rest of your Monday, like I said. Peace.